Hey guys, Fireworks Stud here. It's time for another pickup video. I was not planning to do this one for a couple weeks just because I wanted to get some more demos out before I did another video like this, but there's some of this stuff that I want to light sooner than that, so I wanted to document having it before it's gone. So we're gonna run through everything kind of like we've just have on the last couple videos. The big thing that I've been looking for, of course, is vintage stuff, vintage firecrackers, D.O.T, early UN stuff, and then if I find something cool along the way, I usually pick it up too. So we will start with this box here. If you've seen my second to last video from this one, you might have seen some of this already, so I apologize, but we'll go through it real quick. Got a bag in there, the M100 Air Thunders. These are individual crackers, early UN, I did not notice that. I think they're 2 inches. And then I've got 2 pack of the 2-inch tanks. Looking for a brick of those tanks, those would be awesome to have. In this bag I've got an assortment of random jumping jacks. You have Mad Hornets, you have some Crazy Jacks from Red Lantern, those are awesome. Then you also have in here some early UNs, if you can see those, from Horse Brand. And then I think we have some jumping jacks with Bang from Shelton's from Mobster. In here, these are the first I've ever had of this type of firework. These are Whistling Jacks. I think these are Mad Hornets as well. Got a nice little stack of these. And you will see later on, but I also was able to pick up a brick of these. So we will light these, do a video on them, and make sure that brick stays intact because they don't make Whistling Jacks anymore, and that was an awesome find. Again, from my last video, here's just a bag of a bunch of modern crackers, different types that I've never lit off before. That a buddy hooked me up with. So go check out that last video if you want to see more detail on these bags that I'm starting with. Just a random bag, but there's some cool stuff in there. Those are Turtle Brand ICC crackers. It looks like we've got a triangle cracker, some M80s, and then some of those Pyroland ground blooms. Here's some early UN stuff. You've got a Successive Happy News, or 2 of those. You've got some Ninjas, an Alien, Vixen, some Brothers, Blast Crackers. You have an Atomic Bomb bag just full of these. I've heard that these are really good. And I also have another brick of these that I'll show you in this video, so it's awesome to get a couple spare packs to try out. More early UN stuff. You've got Raging Bull, Mule, Warpath from Shelton's, Emperor. I don't think those are super early UN. Some El Toros in that one. No Name Thunder Bombs, Mad Hornets, Shelton Thunder Bombs, Killer Bees. Some Zebras, some Combat Commandos, some Black Cats. These have the cats on them, so they're a little bit older, even though they have the QSV and stuff. Some Mermaids. Those are the reproduction mermaids, not the old mermaids. Old Glories, Mojaves, Maui, Mayhems. Like I said, if you want to see all these, I had like a box full where I went through each individual cracker, so go check that out. Then I've got some Bikini Beaches. I've never had these before. I've got a couple of the 16s and then just 2 of the 10s. Also, we'll be making a video on those. The rest of this box is just modern crackers slash other random things. You've got 2 packs of these American balls. I haven't had this size of soccer cracker before, soccer ball crackers, so those are cool. We've got a couple spare Wise Guys in here. We have a couple packs of early UN ground blooms. These are always one of my favorite type of fireworks, so I went and tried that one. It lasted a little bit longer than the modern stuff, but it didn't spin as great, but still cool to have. Another thing that I've never had before is this Boom Boom box. This is the blue version, obviously, if you can see it. It's the newer version. They started out red. I'm looking for some red ones too, would be cool to have, but I've actually never had these. For some reason, they're just never at the stores around me. So that was cool to find. Got a couple packs of ground blooms with Report. I've got a brick of these that I'll show you later. They look like the old jumping jacks. And then I've also got some of these put back, but some spare packs just to try out. Then we have a little slab of Jitterbugs. I've heard good things about them. I've never lit them off. There's 10 in here. These are just crackers, good crackers. And then we have 2 of these ground bloom flower from White Hot brand. These have Report, and I've heard that they're really good. So I'm probably going to keep 1 pack just for the collection and make a video comparing these to the other types that I just showed you that we have here. So that is that for that box. Bunch of good stuff in there. We'll go to this next. I have 1,000 strips, early UN Black Cat. No QSV, no website, nothing on there. It's kind of, I really like this version of the Black Cat logo. It's kind of hard to see, but it's got like the bluish tint on the ears and the nose and the whiskers. But these are crimped crackers. They've got the cats on them. I thought this was really, really cool. Thanks to the buddy that just gave this to me. I don't know if these are unwindable, meaning I can take them off and shoot them one at a time. I might try one or two just to see what the fuse is looking like. But if not, we will save that for the 4th and have a really good time lighting that off. A couple grosses of bottle rockets here. I have 3 or 4 of these now. These are the Air Travels by Horsebrand, early UN. I've shot a few packs of these off somewhat recently and they performed very well. So got another one of those. You can never have enough paper rockets. And then one of my all-time favorite fireworks, I found another gross of these Black Cat Silver Foxes. If you know on these, you just know, like they have not made a bottle rocket as good as these since they stopped making these. So looking for more of these always. If you know where to find some, let me know. Got this little random item, Ashcan Magnum Salutes. I don't even know which brand they're from. I kind of got tricked on these. They were made to sound a lot more vintage than they are. I think these are actually like pretty modern and they're just made to look really old, but we'll try them out. I'll make a video here soon comparing all the tube crackers that I have. I got some D.O.T ones that I just picked up. I can show you those in just a second, as well as some other fun ones. So we'll add that to that video. Next thing we got here are 3 of these buzz bombs. These are by, I actually don't know who they're by. It could be Universal Fireworks if I remember right, but from what I've heard, these are pretty heavy. It's like almost a salute going off when they spin up in the air. So a really nice report on these. I'm excited to try them out. I even have I think a half case on its way just because I've heard such good things about them and I've always loved flyers like this. So. Okay, well, one of my favorite things that we've got in this tub is I've filled up just a little box here of roller coaster 12s. These are the UNOs. As soon as I lit these off a couple weeks ago, I was just immediately hooked on them. So pretty much whenever I've come across them, I've picked up a few. And we've got this box here. There's another bag somewhere, but these are all just UNO roller coaster 12s. This tub will probably just go back in the collection just because, of course, these are no longer made and you want to save those. And then I'll light what I've got in this bag here. Same thing, just roller coaster 12s. It's probably 2 of those. If you've seen the brick, they're like 3 or 4 feet long. I probably have 2 of those at this point. I didn't get bricks, obviously, just spare packs, but just picking them up when I found them. In this bag, this is where things get a little random. We've got some 50 strips, both from roller coaster and just some random ones. I can pull out the random ones just to show you. I don't think I showed these in the previous video. Some Thunder Bombs, some Dr. Head Bomb brand. I've never shot this brand before. That is a really cool wrap. And then 2 of these blast crackers from Brothers. These are the ones with the flags on the back and the clear wrap. That's super cool. I'd love to find a brick of these ones specifically. I'm gonna make a video soon comparing a bunch of different 50 strips that I have. So that's what we got there. Next thing, this might be a little bit hard to show on camera, but I've got 2 of these successive Happy News. These are not the D.O.Ts, these are the UN. From videos that I've seen and friends that I've talked to, these are the best color crackers out there. Unfortunately, they're not made anymore, but I've heard really good things about these. For a strip this big, I'll probably have to wait until the 4th to light it off, but I will definitely do a video on those when I can. Another bigger strip here, we have a Flying Dragon D.O.T. It says it's a 100 strip, but I think it might be a 200 or 300 because when I counted the crackers through the back of the wrapper, I counted 100 just in the first layer, 50 on both sides. And I'm guessing there's 2 or 3. It kind of feels like there's 3. So this might actually be a 300 from Flying Dragon. That is a super cool piece there. I don't know if I'll light that off or just hold on to that for a good while. Next, we have that ground bloom brick that I was talking about earlier. It looks like the old jumping jacks that have the stripes on them. I'm kind of starting to collect all of the jumping jacks, or sorry, the ground blooms with report that I can find. So now I have the Pyroland, I have these, and then I have the other ones that are also no brand that have the American flag on them. So keep going to try to find more and more of these and do a video soon comparing the different types just to see which one is best. Here is that brick of Whistling Jacks. This is a Shelton product, obviously not made anymore. They will look just like the ones that I had in that bag a few minutes ago. And I believe that there are 40 packs in here, if I'm not mistaken. So super cool to find that. Like I said, I've never had Whistling Jacks. They are really hard to find these days. Next are two early UN horse brand jumping jack bricks. These aren't anything special from what I've heard / seen, but they're definitely still better than what you will find today in modern jumping jack bricks. I was talking about the red stripe jumping jacks. That's kind of what's on these jumping jacks and the ones that came just a little bit before it. And that's why these, I believe why these ground blooms are striped like that. So 2 of those bricks. Staying with the jumping jacks, I have several of these horse brand D.O.T Class C jumping jack bricks. Sorry, lost my words there. I opened one of these not too long ago on my channel just to see what was inside. These are a unique brick. After some research, it is possible that these were the last run of D.O.T jumping jacks ever. It has a different province on them, and just there's a few things about them that are a bit unique from the other D.O.T bricks and packs that I've seen. These are also getting really hard to find, so when I found a couple, I picked them pretty much all up. There's those. One more of those. One of these is going to a buddy, and then there is the brick that I picked up. I have lit off a few packs, and they perform extremely well. I will definitely be making a video on these. And I say extremely well because I'm comparing them again to the modern jumping jacks that hardly do anything. So there's that. I've got a few vintage bricks to get to, but before we do that, just wanted to finish off the more modern stuff. Got another brick of Wise Guy crackers. If you've been watching my recent videos, I also lit these off for the first time recently and was just blown away by how good they are. I love single crackers just because I love having 200 fuses to light. Just the individual crackers are a lot of fun and I really enjoy them. So there's another brick of the Wise Guys. Next here we have Super Megaton. I think this is Megaton brand, just a half brick. This is earlier UN, I believe, not super early or anything, but I don't see a website on here unless I'm mistaken. And these crackers are black instead of red, so a little unique brick there. This one's falling apart, so it's gonna be one that I open here soon and do a demo on. Okay, getting into the cool stuff. This might be the coolest brick in this video, but we have a Tiger Head Thunderbomb 4016. If you see on there, that's actually handwritten. It's really cool when you see old bricks with the pack count and stuff written on it. D.O.T Class C, and it does have the bomb wrap on them. A buddy that had a similar brick to this said that his had stars on it, but I'm hopeful that these have the bomb print on the crackers just because of that back wrap. Either way, this is a mint brick. It's just in such good shape. This one's going back in the collection for sure. So I was super excited to find that. Not as vintage, but still pretty unique. We have a Tiger Head, excuse me, 88 brick. So super skinny. There are 8 crackers in each pack, 4 on each side, and there's 80 packs of them. I have never seen this brick before, and it's in such good shape. I will probably not open it for a while, but this is definitely one I see myself opening in the future just to try out. I've heard they're great crackers. It's light. Obviously, because it's an 8th brick, it's going to be a little bit lighter, but it's light just like some D.O.T crackers. So I have a feeling that these are really old UN stuff. So cool brick there. Another D.O.T brick. I got one of these, I don't even know what you would call this, but I have the peony brick, but now I have this one out there that you have the pigeon, the beauty, the mammon, they're each their own brick. But this brick here is an 8016 and it comes with 20 packs of each of those types. This one too is in mint condition, super, super clean. That'll be going back in the collection. Again, these are a little bit easier to find if you are looking, so this might be one I open up eventually just to try out the different kinds, but I also think it would be cool to complete my collection of all of the bricks that are included in this line of crackers. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. 2 more bricks and we've got just a couple more tubs. Like I said, I've got the M100 Atomic Bomb Super Firecrackers. This is a UN brick, but these are crimped crackers. You might be able to see in there, and it feels just like a D.O.T brick when it comes to the weight. I've heard really good things about these crackers, as I said, and I've always super loved this design. I just think it's so cool. Just the style of it has always popped out to me. So when I saw this brick, even though it's not D.O.T, I still love early UN stuff. I think it's just as good. I understand why it's not as collectible, but I think the crackers themselves, if you get the right early UN stuff, is just as good as the tail end of the D.O.T firecrackers. So there's that brick. That's wrapped up nicely. Last brick we have in here is this Mad Rat, none better than Mad Rat, 8016. Nice wrap on those. I imagine that's what the crackers look like. These two look to be crimped. At least some of the packs do. I could be wrong, but I was told that these are pretty much D.O.T crackers as well, that this was just some D.O.T crackers. They slapped a UNO label on to sell as the regulations were changing. So I was excited to find that. It's a super unique design. I can't say that I actually really like it that much. I think it's a little weird looking, but it's still a really cool piece to have in the collection. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video, just move some stuff so I can show these next tubs a little bit better. So give me just 1 second. All right, to finish up the video, we just have these 3 bins here and then we'll all be done. Thanks for hanging with me. We'll start down in this one. I've had a few of these before, never lit any off yet, but we have 4 of these double voice specialties from Link Triad brand. I guess I had a misunderstanding on what these do. I thought they shot up a little salute or a little cracker, but what I was told they do is they actually have like a lift charge at the bottom, and then the whole thing shoots in the air and explodes and is really loud. So we'll have to try those soon. And here we've got a Black Cat Sputnik helicopter, D.O.T Class C. This is a really cool vintage novelty. You can see that the Black Cat also has like that blue tint on it. I don't know why, but that's always stuck out to me. I'd love to get more of these just so I could actually light one off, but I've heard that they're good performers. Also in here we've got 2 tricolor fountains. And I'm trying to see the brand on there, but I cannot see it. And then we've got 2 spinners, and then we also have the D.O.T tube crackers that I was talking about, the bootleggers. I'll put those in a future tube cracker comparison video. Then we have 2 fountains, both the same one, Spring Greeting from Whale brand fireworks. I don't think I've ever had anything from Whale brand, D.O.T Class C. Then we have 3 packs of these 3 Whistling Moon Travelers from Marvel brand. I think there was a loose one. These are my first D.O.T Whistlers, so these will be cool to try out too. And last thing in this little box is probably the coolest thing, these Horse brand holiday shells. And these things are super small, but they're like hard plastic mini artillery shells with a tube. These are UNO, but just because they're Horse brand, that means that they're very, very old UNO. These remind me of the Phantom Fireworks Copperhead mini shells that I grew up with. Those were back in the day the first artillery I ever lit. So to have an older version of those is really cool. I definitely won't be lighting this off, at least until I come across some more. We'll hurry and put everything back in there and move this box. As you can see, the other 2 bins are just all of the loose packs that I have found for this pickup. We'll start with the smaller ones. I'll just grab a handful and kind of shuffle through them real quick. Supercharged, Pigeon, Uncle Sam. I think I have some of those. These Magic Crackers. I don't know if these are D.O.T. or those are UNO. A Blackjack 16, TNT Bomb. You've got Roller Coaster 12s, D.O.T. Class C. More roller coasters. I think those are 12s. Here's a 16. This is the exact pack that I actually have an 8016 brick of. The Peony and the Mammon. The Blockbuster Laser Cracker. Flashing Thunder. That is a Tiger Head brand 12. This is a cool pack here. You have the Cock brand with the colors on the back. Red Devil D.O.T. Happy Lightning Firecrackers from Link Triad. A Wolfpack D.O.T. Super cool. If you've seen the channel or been watching the channel for a long time, you knew I grew up on Phantom. So old Phantom logo there. Let's get it to focus if it would, as best as an iPhone can. But that is cool. I think when I was looking at these crackers, it is the pack that has like the wolves on them. So that would be really cool if that's the case. We've got some Ladyfingers from Link Triad brand. I should put that on that side with the Ladyfingers. Two different Uzi crackers. A Bomb Volcano Flash from Westlake brand. Couple big bombs, got a handful of those, so we'll definitely try them. Some Flying Dragons, 16s, another Flying Dragon. I have a 4016, so I'll probably light some of those off in a future video. Celebration Sam, Bobcat, Lady Manhattan. That's it for the 16s. I have some D.O.T. Whistling Jacks. Which brand is that? Angel brand, it looks like. And I think these are UNO, and those are Red Lantern. Got some 1-inch crackers, two different kinds from Red Lantern. One's the Boomer. These aren't Ladyfingers, they are just small firecrackers, even though that's what Ladyfingers are. Anyways, Red Lantern, Ladyfingers. Super cool design, I love the line on those. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Got the Baby Gorilla Ladyfingers, and I already showed this one. We'll just throw all these back in here and organize them nicely just how they were before I made a mess. All right, last bin for this. These are kind of the oversized vintage. We have some Tiger Head Thunderbomb 4 inches. These are not 32s. As you can see, there's 4 big crackers in there. I've never lit off these vintage 4-inch crackers before. Then I have 2 packs of the Tiger Head brand, not the Thunderbomb, but just Tiger Head. These are different. One of them you can kind of see has stars, and one of them looks to be all red. So I don't know what the difference is between those. And then I have a couple loose ones here that I'll have to light off. I don't know how vintage these are. I don't even know what they're really called. It's obviously made for a different market, but these look to be 7-star. I've seen that these go super fast and I've heard they're really loud, so we'll have to try those. Let me grab some of these. We have 3 woodpeckers. We have a Superior Mandarin. That's from Flying Fairy brand. Those are 2 inches. You can see those are a little bit longer. What else do we have in here? We have a Horse brand Bomb firecrackers. This is a 48. Sorry, trying to get my phone to focus. Has a hard time in these videos, I apologize. Horse brand, another 48 pack. And then we have a bunch of ducks. One of each color, I believe. And a few extras we'll have to light off. Those are 48s as well. Some vintage 50 strips. Neil brand, Chinese Junk, Great Wall, Island Dragon, and we have 2 of the Flying Dragon. Like I said earlier in the video, I am planning to do a comparison of 50 strips, so we will put some of those in there. And last but not least, we have 2 more packs of Boomer Supercharged Flashlight Firecrackers. These don't look like Ladyfingers, they look like the 1-inch crackers. Yep, 1 inch, 1 1/4. So that is what we have for this pickup. Thanks for hanging with me. I know it's a longer video. As I said many times throughout the video, keep an eye out on the channel for actual demos instead of just pickup videos of random stuff. I appreciate, it seems like, you know, people are coming back to the channel now that I've started things back up. So it's cool to see more comments, more subscribers. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed recently. And yeah, I never know how to end these videos. If any of this, I should say, if any of this interests you for trade, if you've got stuff, or if any of you know where to find some more vintage stuff, there's an email in the description. And of course, I'm still learning a bunch about this stuff. So if you know anything I don't about any of this stuff here, make sure to leave a comment. But if not, thanks again for watching, and you guys have a great rest of your day.